Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Not Much Sex, A Bit of Drugs and Some Rock and Roll. My name is John Peel.
And my name is Laurence Lear.
Nice to be back.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yes.
I'm quite nervous actually.
Yeah, for the first time in a long time I feel like I'm rather nervous for a show.
Yeah, it's kind of similar back to the first time we did it last semester.
Back to the good old days.
But maybe we'll get into the groove of things very quickly.
Hopefully.
As people who are familiar with our show, we're going to do some typical routine things, and first and foremost we're going to play what song, John?
We are of course going to start with Arctic Monkeys. This is Knee Socks. And that was Knee Socks by the wonderful Arctic Monkeys, kicking us off back for semester 2.
That's put me in the mood. I'm up for this now. This show's going to be a bit different. We've kind of gone beyond the realms of just on the radio, and John's been basically figureheading this brilliant enterprise. And would you like to describe what you've been doing?
Yes, so basically from now on, for this semester and hopefully next year as well, we will be filming our shows and uploading them to YouTube. That's to the KUBE Radio Kiel YouTube account. I'm sure we'll stick it on the Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, we will.
So now you'll be able to see our beautiful faces.
Yeah, I should have done something about my hair. It's a bit the wind's done it, made it a bit too frizzy for me.
Yeah, so the show is called A Face for the Radio. The YouTube show is called A Face for the Radio. Not to be confused with
another radio show on Kiel.
Another radio show which is the same name, which we didn't realise until we had all the banners and stuff.
Yeah, we weren't trying to steal anything. It was a bad mistake.
So yeah, we're deeply sorry about that.
Yeah, whoever Face for the Radio is, I met yesterday on the Cube social very drunkenly. I apologise profusely, but probably not legitimately. I don't really care too much. We'll be the better Face for the Radio,
of course.
And
you guys are great, I'm sure. But
yeah. If they're probably not listening, so it doesn't matter too much. You're also you're going to do other YouTube stuff, aren't you, John?
Yeah.
Or you're planning to?
Yeah, planning to. Anyway, because since coming to Kiel, I've sort of discovered that video editing and just like production is kind of my thing. Because I've never really had hobbies before.
Yeah.
Like, I did golf for a bit, but then it was golf.
I can't imagine you golf.
It got a bit boring.
I really can't imagine you playing golf.
Yeah, I did it for like several years, but naturally it got a bit boring, and so now I'm doing film instead, which you've been a bit more exciting.
Which seemingly you've taken like a duck to water. You've been loving it recently.
Yeah,
most of your time outside, of course, doing studies.
Yeah, of course.
You've been doing that, and hopefully it's going to be good. We've had backing from Cube as well, so thank you very much for that, for like the cameras that we've been given and tripods.
Thank you to the SU for lending us not lending us, but it's nice that the SU is supporting its students in many aspects, including giving us a camera, because they're quite expensive. And I'm a student and I'm poor. Yeah,
I like to think that this is going to be a prototype, which should soon become an archetype of what KUBE Radio want to do.
I mean, I kind of took inspiration from Radio 1, what they're doing with because they film a lot of their stuff and upload it to YouTube. I mean, their website. I mean, radio, sadly, as like just by itself, is kind of dying out, and obviously online culture is huge, and videos are a big part of that. I mean,
it's going to be like that, and maybe like keeping with the theme of like what Radio 1 does and other radio shows that film them, we could do like tasks inside here. Like we could do some like drinking tasks or something. Actually,
not that we drink in the Cube studio.
No, definitely
we don't
not.
Do that.
Definitely not. But I didn't say alcohol, by the way. I just said drinking.
I mean, just have a Coke.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's brilliant. So if anybody actually has any ideas of what they'd like to see us do within reasonable conditions, I know some of you ladies would like to see us do like a strip radio show, and I can't blame you. But that's not happening. No. Well.
No, I mean, with this body.
Yeah. I don't think the camera is that good in resolution. Anyway. Moving on to your first song choice of the year, or your independent one.
Let's kick it off. Just as a side note, with regard to music, we'll only be uploading the talk elements of the show because YouTube is full of copyright infringement, so we can't actually upload the music. But we will just be uploading basically the talk elements, which is another thing we're introducing. Just stuff that's interesting in the news or whatever. Room 101's making an appearance again. Yeah, so that's always fun.
And we've got a few today. We've got a few today. We'll talk about them later.
Yep, coming up soon. Yeah. Don't go anywhere.
So that means we're going to have to be more prepared than usual. So the show's quality
preparation.
Moving on to maybe episode radio show 3 and 4. We're going to be in our element.
Yeah.
But you're playing quite a new song, actually, aren't you?
Yeah, I've only just started listening to it recently. It's from Bastille's new mixtape, like versus mixtape, and this is Bite Down, featuring Bastille and Haim.
I like Haim.
So here we go.
We'd rather get a crappy degree from Staff's uni than play crap music. You're listening to KUBE Radio.
So that was Bite Down by Haim and Bastille and Haim.
Yeah,
and then that was Perfect Skin by Peace.
Yeah, on their latest album, which was released about 8 days ago. It's a decent album. I only heard it for the first time today, like the hours beforehand, and that was probably my favourite, or at least the most catchy, like radio-friendly song. Quite like it. I prefer the first album, but then again, I've only heard it once. So
yeah, I suppose it takes some time to kind of get into music, doesn't it?
Yeah, but like, I've always trying to like bring in new music that I haven't even necessarily heard myself onto the show, so we don't get a bit too repetitive.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do that more this semester because I kind of got. I was good to start with, and then kind of got lazy towards the end. So.
Like, you and I both like spend our times today. Like, we finish at 5. Our last lecture, and then we just stay in for 4 hours. So that's my time to listen to new music.
Although I went home for pancakes.
You did go home and left me on my own.
Shrove Tuesday, by the way, everybody.
It is, and I haven't had a pancake.
Pancakes.
However, we have just ordered Domino's, so I'm looking forward to that.
All pizza on the way.
I've barely eaten today. I think I've had a Mars bar duo, so 2, and a packet of crisps. So that's mainly down to the fact that I have absolutely no access to money anymore because some bastard.
Yeah, you lost your card to the card machine, didn't you?
Dickhead card machine just decided to take it and then just didn't even register the fact that it's been in. So it's just like, insert card to continue. You're like, you absolute.
I just did insert the card. You just.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to loan money and all this stuff this week. So it's a bit of a pain. So I know what it's like to be impoverished. yeah, the pizza's on John today. So if I'm in a more cheerful, less aggravated mood later, praise be to John.
Praise be to Domino's.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'm so ready for that.
Yeah, I am. Anyway, we were gonna talk about. Well, Kiel was locally in the news today, this week rather, or the weekend.
Yeah, I think it was over the weekend.
Yeah, a goat. I don't know too much about it.
Alfie the goat.
Yeah, it's been named. There was a goat that just was running rampage around Kiel.
I'm not. Which block was that?
I think it was Hawthorns.
Yeah,
it was Hawthorns.
Kind of out
near farm areas and that stuff, and we gained a bit of popularity amongst the students. They eventually got taken away by the RSPCA.
Yeah, it was led inside the blocks with carrots, I believe. I saw online.
What, a student did that?
Yeah, students bought it inside. Just laid a trail of carrots.
Fair enough.
Like, as you do.
It's been memes quite a lot recently. Like it's been trying to encourage us to vote, which I've done, as has John.
Yeah, it's the Kiel SU elections. So
it's been it's just been a bit of a pain recently. Like, I can understand why people are trying to make you vote, but I voted on Monday, and I voted Monday, so yesterday, and being bombarded by people just saying vote this person, and like telling them they've already voted doesn't seem to want them to leave you alone.
Well, I mean, you can understand why they're trying to get the message out there, but after 3 days is a bit much.
Yeah, it is, but
like, I mean, I don't know how many students we actually have in Kiel, but like over
9,000
minimum. So
minimum.
Only a ninth of the population of Kiel have voted.
Really?
So if you haven't voted,
please do
that.
Like, exercise your right.
That's all we're going to say about it now, because I'm just fed up of hearing about it.
True. But you should still vote. However, moving on to voting, you linked me a article which I'm not sure what I think about it. It was about how Facebook are going to be advertising the 2015 general election in this country to everybody that's of voting age, and 17-year-olds are going to be 18 by the time voting happens in May, I think.
Yeah, personally, I think it's a good idea. Like, I mean, everybody uses Facebook.
Yeah.
People should. I mean, if we live in a democratic country, you should exercise your right to vote.
It just is something. I definitely agree with the premise and the reason for it, but it's just Facebook's powerful enough as it is, and now it's getting more influence on us voting in our country.
Yeah, next they'll be telling you who to vote for.
Yeah, it's going to get to that point. Possibly. Like, the internet is slowly taking all of our lives. Like, everything you search for in Google is recorded, no matter if you use incognito window, guys. Yeah, I know you guys. Yes, it doesn't work.
They know about your filthy porn habits.
Yeah. And like 50 Shades of Grey and all that stuff is beyond that stuff.
Speaking of 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades of Grey made $97 million in its opening weekend. $97 million.
I thought that was its opening day. It was like $84 million on its opening day, which was a record for the day it was released. As like President's Day in America, so it's quite a big thing.
I think I read somewhere that it's the biggest grossing film ever, like, for over that short period of time.
I don't plan on watching it anyway. I'm not going to spend money.
I'm not going to spend money on going to see that.
No,
the novel itself made $81.6 million.
Yeah, it's
no, $67 million even.
It's apparently it's terribly written. I haven't read, and I don't.
I haven't read it either, but it's probably not the greatest piece of literature ever written.
I've seen the trailer for the film, and it looks average.
From speaking to people who've actually watched it, they said it was probably the most awkward cinema experience they've ever had.
I can imagine.
Like, it's just the acting was awkward, let alone just being in the cinema and watching that on the screen. Yeah,
you are basically watching pornography in essence, in a cinema. I read something earlier. It was a tweet, and it was girls complain about guys watching Game of Thrones calling it porn, yet they're all lining up to go watch 50 Shades of Grey.
There you go.
Because it's art, and you're just like...
art. Yeah, let's not go that far. Apparently, for the premiere screening, they put plastic sheeting all over the seats.
What are they expecting people to do?
People to masturbate in the cinema.
That's grim.
I know, it's disgusting, but I honestly could see it happening.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be shocked, to be honest.
There are some sketchy people.
50 Shades of Grey, everybody. Go and see it now.
Yeah, moving on from reasonably disgusting piece of talk, shall we play a song?
Yeah, let's do that. What should we play?
I don't know. We hadn't planned this far ahead. To be honest, the talking segment distracted me. I'm
going to play.
Yeah, you play.
This is Glimmer by Mallory Knox, followed by War by Codaline from their new album, which just came out, which we can talk about afterwards.
Yeah, we can.
So yeah, Glimmer by Mallory Knox and Codaline with War.
Broadcasting from behind a urinal in K2, this is KUBE Radio.
That was Glimmer by Mallory Knox and War by Codaline from their newest album, whatever that's called. That is Coming Up for Air.
Yeah, that's the one.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I've heard it once. It's decent. It has its good songs, but their rookie album was something that was hard to beat.
Yeah, I like the first album.
It was a very good album for a first album.
This one kind of has sort of... It's similar in ways, but there are songs that are showing that they're kind of taking it in a new direction. Yeah. But I still prefer the first album. Yeah, but
their first album only was released at like 2013.
I think it was something like that.
It seems like I can't remember who we were talking about earlier. Coldplay.
Coldplay.
Yeah. Basically, Codaline released an album within 2 years of the last one, which is pretty quick.
Yeah.
And Coldplay are releasing their final album.
Last Coldplay ever.
Later on this year.
Some would argue it's a good thing.
Despite the fact they released Ghost Stories last year. So they've had a whole year to...
pretty quick turnaround, unless they...
For a big album like that, in terms of what it's going to mean, you would have thought they wanted to spend more time.
Taken longer. I suppose if they'd already written the songs, then... Because I imagine that's how musicians work. I don't know, because I'm not a musician.
No. But. I mentioned to you earlier in the library about how Damon Albarn's album last year cut down to 12 songs. He had 60 songs total to choose from. He recorded.
That's a lot of music.
Which that's more songs than many artists get throughout careers, and he did that for an album.
Yeah.
Whilst he's probably released upwards of 80 songs with Gorillaz and Blur, probably more. So that guy's got many a tune in his head.
Yeah, he's still pumping them out.
Yeah, and Gorillaz album's coming out next year, I think, which I'm looking forward to. One of my faves. Anyway, you were wanting to talk about Zane Lowe and what's happening with him.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would be only right for us, as we're a radio show, to talk about other radio shows. I mean, we mentioned Radio 1 earlier. Yeah, big news for Radio 1. Zane Lowe is, after 12 years at BBC Radio 1, has decided to leave to a unspecified job at Apple.
Yeah, it's very odd about that. I don't know
what he'd be doing at Apple.
I read somewhere that Apple are trying to like go into radio, as in like an Apple Radio.
That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, there's Apple everything.
Yeah. There's an Apple clothing range.
A what?
There's an Apple clothing range.
That's a thing?
Yeah, the stuff is awful.
I've never...
It was like back in the 90s it started and then finished at like 1997 because nobody bought them because people actually have taste. Yeah, Zane Lowe's...
The eye clothes.
Yeah.
Eye jacket.
I really wouldn't be surprised if it does go that way. Like
eye boxes.
We've moved on to Google Glass, which is basically...
Yeah, I think they've taken that out of production now.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
but there's other forms of that kind of technology coming out soon or is out.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
There seems to be a big push to virtual reality. And speaking of virtual reality, they're developing a new Apollo 11 experience, which is basically you get some glasses and you go to space.
And you walk on the moon and do the experiments that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin did. Personally, to me, obviously I'd like to go to the moon. I was like, if somebody went, "Oh, do you want to go to the moon this weekend?" I would like, yeah. But it's something that doesn't really have a lot going on.
No, I'm terrified of space travel. There's no way you'd be able to get me on a rocket. No. Air.
Not even on one of Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic
didn't that crash? I swear.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of them crashed.
And people died?
I'm not sure if there was anybody on it, but I think it might have been a test rocket or something.
It's probably a drone.
We should probably look that up.
Yeah, probably. Because we're accusing Virgin of this catastrophic disaster.
I'm pretty sure.
When we don't know.
It crashed.
For the idea that the going on the moon just to experience what it's like is not really it's obviously not the real thing, and you'll probably get bored after about 5 minutes. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how realistic it's going to be. It's not going to be the real thing, and basically that's what Google Earth is for. If you want to go anywhere and you can't be bothered, just go on Google Earth and pretend. It's going to be the same kind of thing.
Yeah, I've got the news article up about the Virgin thing, so I can actually sound informed.
All right.
It's Virgin Galactic pilot thrown free from spacecraft. The craft disintegrated over the Mojave Desert. I think they were testing it.
At least that.
There was one fatality.
One fatality.
Which is sad.
That is sad.
Yeah. It's space travel, man. We don't have the technology yet.
Not yet.
Not going to get me anywhere near a rocket.
No. Not in the near future until they perfect it.
It's too expensive as well.
Like, we're talking about going to Mars, and yet we still can't really. Well, we never really got to the moon easily.
No. I'm surprised.
It's ambitious.
Yeah, spaceman.
That's basically like planning for a marathon and then running 2 miles and thinking that's an achievement.
No.
Fair enough. I was reading up on Zane Lowe, and did you know he saved someone's life?
I didn't. He saved somebody's life.
There's a band called the Cribs, like an indie band,
right?
And they was at an Enemy Awards show back probably 2007.
Did somebody try to kill them?
Huh?
I don't know. Did it start like an assassination plot?
No. And the Cribs bassist, I think, called Ryan Jarman, was going on to accept an award for Franz Ferdinand, and he jumped onto the Kaiser Chiefs table and impaled himself on glass into his back, and just missing some vital organs.
Ouch!
And he went to hospital and discharged himself about 2 hours later.
Yeah.
And he was at the award show again, drinking. And then Zayn laid chance upon him when he was in the back, like one of the back corridors, and he was bleeding out. And Zane Lowe basically kept him alive for the time being until paramedics came around, and it's like seen as an indie folklore kind of thing.
I didn't know that. Yeah, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, you do. Well,
Radio presenter
if that's
and lifesaver.
If that's the one thing I learned today, then those 3 hours of seminars and lectures are a bit pointless today. Anyway, shall we move on to a song?
Let's do it.
Can we play Mark Knopfler's new song? Mark Knopfler is releasing an album next month called Trackers. Once again, quite recent compared to his last studio album release, Privateering. It's the only one so far out, and it's typical Mark Knopfler, like rolling, smooth verses with just guitar all the time, and it's lovely pitch on the guitar, lovely playing, and considering his age, he's still got it. So this is
fanboy mode engaged.
Yeah. But this is Barrel by Mark Knopfler.
Student radio tends to be a bit crap. Good thing we're not. You're listening to international award-winning KUBERadio.com.
And that was Mark Knopfler with Barrel. Yes. And his new song from his upcoming album, is it?
Upcoming album,
yep. And
March.
that was also, what song is it? Speaking in Tongues by Young Guns, also from their upcoming album, which will be out sometime, I don't know.
Seems like 2015 is a big year for music.
Yeah, it's there's definitely a lot of stuff coming out. Speaking of big news, the pizza's just arrived.
Which, if you watch the video show,
you can look at it. Look, it's so delicious.
You can be envious.
It's so good. I wish I bought napkins though, because I'm going to make a massive mess all over my face now.
Oh well. At least it'll show that you appreciated it. Anyway, we're going to move on to a bit of Room 101 before we distract you with a song so we can continue eating. I've had a few nagging things with around Kiel today, actually, that's caused me to add a few things on Room 101.
Just very quickly, for those of you who have not heard of Room 101 or who have just been living in a hole, basically, Room 101 is a theoretical place where we put things to die that we don't like.
Yeah, basically.
So just like
everything that annoys you, it's in this.
I don't know, Tony Blair or
Russell Brand. Anyway,
I think he actually was in one of our.
He definitely was. I think I've put him in twice, and I might put him in for a hat trick. I've mentioned two things that are Room 101 today that I haven't mentioned, like pestering votes and everything, elections today. Yep. That was a bit irritating. And the cash machines, how they can basically stall your life for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it's a pain in the arse. I had problems with my card recently as well. It's just decided to break on me. So every time I wanted to get money out, I had to go to the bank and get it out manually. And every time it's like, oh, why is your card not working? Here, let's try and test it. No, I've done this like 50 times. It doesn't work. Please just give me my money.
So the other things I saw earlier today when in the library, somebody using one of the computers that the library has in the group studies was sat in front of it but using her laptop. Why? Instead of the actual computer, when people could have been using the computer and you could have just sat down in the many other places to sit and use your laptop. I can understand it because I've done it myself when you are using both. Like when I was revising, I used to have the lecture slides up on the big computer screen, and then on my laptop I'll be writing up my own versions of them, so it was a bit quicker than just changing the window on your actual laptop. Whereas she was just working on her laptop in front of the computer while other people could have been using it. Yeah, it seems pointless to me. I mean, if you've got a computer in front of you, just use the one that's there. Like, I can understand that's the way it works, like a Kiel anyway. Some of the stuff you have to use library PCs to access, like some of the programs, but if you've got a laptop, just use your fucking laptop. Yeah, I know. Pain in the ass. And the other thing, which is basically me being quite honest about why, for those who didn't know who aren't students at Kiel, the exam results for semester 1 came out today. Hooray! And I did alright. Better than I thought I did. I got 61 overall.
That's good.
So it's passed.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't fail, so you're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here for the foreseeable future. And 2 of them I got 59, which is 1 mark off a 2-1. And I'm just thinking, you couldn't get that 1 extra mark. Like, you're marking it, and you know that I got 59. You couldn't find the extra mark, because honestly, I'd rather get 57 than 59, because it's just basically a punch in the groin.
I mean, it's basically just the lecturer saying, I could have given you a 2-1, but you weren't quite good enough.
So
I'm
just going to give you the closest thing humanly possible, make you wish you had it, and then just take it away.
Just shit on your dreams,
yeah, basically that. You actually had a few ideas for Room 101, but your phone's...
My phone's
not
broken.
around.
That's one thing I can put in Room 101.
Your phone.
iPhones. Well, and that and gravity and my clumsiness, because I managed to break...
And your ass.
And sitting on it, yeah. So I managed to drop my phone, crack the screen. It was fine, still worked all right. Then I sat on it, and now it doesn't work anymore. So that's great. Also, my insurance is done through Phones for You, and for people who don't know what Phones for You is, again, wherever you've been living, it's like a phone retailer which has since gone bust. So
has it?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they went under. That's a funny story. The first time I cracked my phone screen was the day that they went under.
Oh god!
So naturally, I didn't know if my insurance was still invalid.
So what? What happens with your contracts?
It's done by another
company.
It's
now.
just been all the contracts have been taken over, basically.
Fair enough.
So fuck you, Phones for You, and fuck me for fucking
sitting on it.
Fuck.
Blame your ass.
Basically, my overly
voluptuous
bony bum.
Anyway, the pizza is literally staring at me right now, and I need to eat it. So let's put a song.
Yeah, let's put a song on so we can eat.
Yeah.
We're gonna play some more Bastille.
Yeah, play some Bastille.
It's from their Versus mixtape. This is Torn Apart versus Grades, whoever they are. I don't know who they are, but
in capitals.
Yes, in capital letters, so they must be important.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is KUBE Radio.
And that was
Mikhail Cronin with Weight.
Mikhail Cronin with Weight. I've never heard of him before.
No, he's decent though, and thanks to a certain music company that does quite useful
online streaming service.
Yeah, that rhymes with Lotify. Aided me in trying to find lots of new artists, and I think it's a good way of actually working. I find I work so much better if I'm listening to music I don't know, because if I'm listening to a song I like, I get distracted, start moving my head.
It's because you're too busy concentrating on like the lyrics and internally singing along. Hopefully not externally.
No, sometimes I do see it as an opportunity to, like, 2 birds 1 stone, get your work done and actually listen to music that you probably wouldn't have found the time to actually have done it. Yeah, so I recommend it personally.
So pizza update. How's your pizza going?
Currently I have 3 slices left.
What pizza did you order?
I got a pepperoni pizza.
And mine's a meat feast. Look at all that. You can't see it if you're listening live, but
he's shoving the pizza into the camera.
It's oh bloody hell! It's delicious.
Yeah. Anyway, we're an hour through on our first show back.
That's gone bloody quickly.
It has gone quickly, and it's gone all right. It's better than I thought.
I think it's been good. If we do say so, I'm there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's great until then.
Yeah. I was saying to John that we got cameras basically like pointing straight at each other's faces, and I would have thought it was going to be a daunting thing, but it's been all right. It's
you kind of forget they're there, don't you? Which is
it does help that they're unmanned cameras. Like there were just people there, just like a crew of people. I'm not sure I would have
no
said
pressure.
The amount of the things I would have said. John has been preparing the show a bit beyond just the video editing, and like sent me a link of a few articles which we covered a few of them.
Basically, today. I'm the best,
and yeah, he's the figurehead. He runs the show effectively, and you sent me a link to a article about swatting, which yes. I can imagine most people don't know what it is. I didn't know myself, so you might be the best to describe it.
Okay, yeah, swatting basically is it's mainly happens in America because of the gun availability. It's basically because a lot of YouTubers nowadays live stream their content, so because it's a better way to get like the audience involved.
Yeah.
And like, because obviously if you have a video, it's very static. You can't like react in real time to your audience. So a lot of people do that, and swatting is basically it's like a very extreme form of trolling, where you basically you ring up the police and say that there's been like a violent crime in a house, and then you provide the address of the person who's streaming.
Yeah.
So then obviously the SWAT team comes in and basically will arrest.
There's a famous video that got like 3 million views in a very, very quick period of time from a famous YouTuber, and the video is basically him playing Counter-Strike, which is a first-person shooting online game, with a little video screen in the top right for showing him play.
Face cam.
And then basically the SWAT team come in, and he looks quite confused, and he lifts his head in and gets forced down to the ground. And to be honest, if that happened now on the radio show, I would probably defecate myself.
Yeah, the pizza would come out early.
Yeah,
that was not.
Yeah. So the article was quite long, and the guy that wrote the article was speaking to a 16-year-old guy who self-proclaims to be a major swatter.
Yeah, we'll be linking all the stuff that we've like all the links that we've utilised.
So if you're interested, you can take a gander.
Be in the description of the video on the YouTubes, and when it gets uploaded, which will be sometime this week, hopefully.
Yeah, let's hope.
When I can get round to it.
Yeah, and basically this guy, 16 years old, he's been doing it for about 2 years now. Very arrogant, very quite nonchalant. He just didn't give a single shit about anyone. He was just like, oh, it's fun, I do it, it's no harm really, and all this stuff. And you're just like, well, technically it is harm. It's harm for the door that gets smashed down psychologically, and
I mean, it's got
security-wise,
it's got to fuck you up, right? I mean, especially as the SWAT police don't mess around. I mean, there's
especially in America,
assault rifles and all that fun stuff. Guns are bad. Britain's better. There's no guns.
Yeah, luckily I don't think we have any American listeners at the moment.
Hopefully not. If so, don't use guns. They're bad.
Yeah, they are bad. Nothing good comes from them, really.
Anyway, moving on from that. Did you hear about the on the subject of like, just I don't know, on people online being dickheads? Did you hear about the Xbox Live and PSN hackings over Christmas?
Yes, I had.
So we're filming this. I think it's what day is it? It's the 17th of February today, so it's
quite late.
We're a bit late to the party, but it's basically a hacking group called Lizard Squad took down. I think they're British as well, British hacking group. So dickheads took down PSN and Xbox Live over Christmas, which was sad because I don't know if
a lot of people would have got Xboxes and PlayStations as their Christmas present. They would have liked to have played online either on the day or the next day, and they couldn't because these people, they didn't even do it for a purpose. I seem to remember I was travelling to Essex over Christmas, and it was on the radio, and I was coming back from it, and the guy that claims to have been part of the Lizard Squad was saying that it doesn't cause any harm to people, and they were teaching that children should be with their families instead of playing.
That's so much bullshit.
Which is just
they should be with their families instead of fucking hacking Xbox Live.
Yeah, exactly.
Nerd.
And this guy who would have been about, I think he was about 20, had a 13-year-old brother or something like that, and his brother didn't understand why he was doing it, and he was just like, "Why are you doing this?" And he went, "Oh, we're just having a bit of fun." And they claimed it was to make Xbox and PlayStation a bit more secure, which obviously it will have become now. But it's just an unnecessary thing, and it's basically emphasising the fact that hacking is the future of... Well, no, it's not even the future. It is basically terrorism now. Well,
I mean, with so much of our lives becoming online and just our dependence on it, I mean, not having a phone as well, that's bringing it back to that story. It sucked for the last week or so. You don't realise how much you use something until it's not there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm just going to take the time because I don't have a watch.
No.
Oh shit, I don't have my phone, I can't do that. Rather mundane problem, but...
Yeah, no, but I get your point.
It's been very sad. Hurry up, DPD, I need my new iPhone.
We're very dependent on technology now, and obviously it's brought so many advantages to us, but it's worrying to think that if something happens that basically made all current technologies null and void and not work, how many people would actually survive on their own
it's true.
work. I genuinely don't think I'd survive.
What, like a total blackout or something?
Well, I'd last a few days.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I can barely cook for myself now with electricity, let alone without.
I consider toast a challenging meal to make.
Man, it's hard stuff. Put it in the toaster. Might burn it, might not.
Nah, I'm good with toast, man. If you ever need help with toast, I'm the man.
We still don't own a toaster.
Yeah, I only learned that the other day.
Our flat still doesn't have a toaster.
That's strange. That is very strange.
Yeah.
I would have died in your house by now.
What would you have eaten?
Bread.
Do you eat pasta?
I'm not a big pasta fan.
Oh,
I quite like.
Who the fuck are you? Who doesn't like pasta?
I'm a picky eater. My family can testify, and I just I'm very unadventurous when it comes to cuisine, and I like my traditional like steak, chips, anything basic.
Steak is good.
Yeah, basically anything that will shorten my lifespan in one way or another. I do. Yeah. Well, we've come to the hour mark. We will enter new segments, but I think we'll play a few more indie tracks before we move on to our cheesy segment, our old music segment, and then the closers.
Bringing it back. That's still with us.
Get back in the rhythm. What are we playing now, John?
We are going to play Black Sun by Death Cab for Cutie. It's coming. It's another song from another upcoming album that's coming out this year. Here we go. Black Sun by Death Cab for Cutie. And that was a lot of songs in a row.
Yeah.
That was, to finish off, that was Let There Be Love by Oasis, the wonderful Oasis. Secondly, we had Frank Turner with The Road.
And then Death Cab.
And it was Death Cab for Cutie with their latest song, Black Sun, from their upcoming album, which I'm very excited for.
For those unfamiliar with this show, usually around this time we move on to like old tunes and a bit of like cheesy music. For the rest of the show, we're going to just have some pretty damn good music on, and right now it's one of my favourite songs ever, and I used to know all the words, but I'm not entirely sure I did now, and I'm not going to lie, knowing all the words to this song is an impressive feat. It's Billy Joel, We Didn't Start the Fire.
Some absolute bangers there. Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight, and Billy Joel with We Didn't Start the Fire.
Absolute bangers, actually. We did our best drumming, like Gorilla Cadbury's advert impression. We committed to it for quite a while.
Man, my drumming was so off.
It's a shame that we won't probably be able to put that on the YouTube channel.
Might be able to put it on Facebook. Because Facebook doesn't have that kind of copyright thing. Yeah. So we'll stick it on Facebook.
Yeah, we could.
So that's an incentive to watch the video.
Yeah. Well, when all the editing's done, and when John finds the time away from his studies, you'll be
studying hard.
Yeah, you'll be able to access all these videos and everything like that. This is going to be a decent thing, actually. It's made me rejuvenate with the radio. I was looking forward to it, even if we just did it as a radio show, but this is it's added an extra incentive to it.
It's nice to bring something new and a new level to it as well. I mean, a lot of people can't listen when it's live, it's good to have it, you know.
I've had a few texts today saying, "Oh, sorry, I can't make listen to this one."
Excuses. It
is excuses.
Get your priorities straight, people.
Yeah, like this is possibly the best standard radio you're going to get. So I don't know what people are doing that's more busy. Or
I know, it's disgraceful.
We haven't actually mentioned this, and it's slightly awkward. That you may have noticed there's only two of us tonight. Yes, Mark's not here.
Normally we have a third presenter, Mr. Mark Lightfoot,
which is ideal because we've only got two cameras. So we would have had to share one. He's not here today, and he usually does something for us when the next song comes on. So I'm going to have to do my best Gremlin Mork impression. Hopefully he's back next week and he can have his debut in front of the camera. So
you get to see his beautiful face.
For the last half hour, we're going to try and fit in basically as many songs as possible.
Talk some more, play some music. It's going to be good. Eat some more pizza because I still haven't finished.
Yeah, you haven't. You still got a way to go. So basically, the next song, it is officially Robbie time.
And that was Shania Twain with That Don't Impress Me Much. And before that, it was Supreme by Robbie Williams.
Two good songs.
Cheesy.
Cheesy, definitely. Well, that's the segment.
That's the idea.
We're giving it justice. We've got 18 minutes left, and we just want to talk about something quite serious.
Serious yet hilarious at the same time.
So we're going to talk about that a bit, and then we'll probably finish with our typical Arctic Monkeys, or we might be able to fit in one song in between.
We'll see.
Are we talking about the documentary with UKIP?
Yes, let's do that.
Well, I hadn't seen it and you haven't seen it, so that stunts the conversation a bit, but I'm going to watch it in the coming days, but it's received an absolute ton of complaints.
So basically, Channel 4, I think it was aired yesterday, Channel 4 aired a UKIP docudrama. Basically, it's called UKIP, The First 100 Days. So basically, it's a hypothetical documentary about what life in Britain would be like if UKIP got elected.
Yeah.
Which
it basically paints it as a place in which this country turns incredibly racist.
Yeah, basically.
And as you said, it's a docudrama, so it's not. It's meant to be in the idea of a documentary.
See, I thought it was a comedy. Like, they probably should have gone comedy route, but instead they went docudrama, so it implies that it's quite serious. I haven't seen, like I said, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it tonight when I get back from this. But it received 731 complaints.
Yeah, but obviously most of them will be UKIP supporters.
Yeah, naturally. And Nigel Farage's response, he took to it on Twitter. He said, look like, okay, nice grammar. Look like hashtag 100 Days of UKIP may well have backfired on Channel 4, a biased partisan depiction of the only party that believes in Britain. What a load of bollocks.
I don't agree with what Channel 4 did, though. I don't think it is.
I think it's great. I'm really excited to watch it, but it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, the thing with UKIP is it's they're a party in which when bad things happen they only get stronger.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. And they always have a habit of turning bad news into good news.
And they've basically turned it on their head, saying that Channel 4 have acted badly with irrationally, and technically the rules are that within 60 days of the election you're not allowed to bring in any biased propaganda to.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
No, I just read it, and just read it on the website.
Spat pizza everywhere.
And because this is a few more days after, before 60 days they've been allowed to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think in 100 days it'll turn as bad as what I think the documentary portrays it to be.
Yeah,
but
I think it's...
To be honest, you would argue, though, that that country would have already existed if they already got voted in.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
So, it's a strange one. I've always been hesitant to talk about politics here because basically my intelligence is being questioned upon. And I'm interested in politics, but I definitely don't know the rules and like the general know-how.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to obviously with KUBE try to keep things. Well, no, I wouldn't say serious. That's no, definitely not. But
light but right.
Light but right.
Light but right.
Coin it now. Yeah. I'm just reading the Guardian article on it, and it says Channel 4 previously said a lot of research went into the film, and that Farage had been invited to watch it before it was broadcast, and then do an interview afterwards. But he was declined, unfortunately. That would have been golden. I'd love to. I'd have loved to see that.
That would have been good. But like, there's a bit of campaigning around Kiel for the general elections, which I
thankfully no UKIP that I've seen, which is nice.
God for that. It's actually only been Green Party so far, which is going to get probably quite a strong representation from students.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still don't know. I haven't really decided who I'm going to vote for yet.
No,
but,
at this round, probably spoiling my vote or voting for anything that cancels out UKIP. But the areas that we would vote in either here or, for me, Exeter. UKIP's not really going to have that much of a pull. Yeah, Essex on the other.
Essex is very UKIP, unfortunately, because I'm from Essex and it's a bit depressing. It's another thing to add to the sort of
I think the
repertoire.
If you register your vote so that one of your parents votes on your behalf, which is possible, that means that their vote goes towards Essex, and you just tell them to vote for who's second or joint, for most likely to finish as he just try and eliminate the risk of UKIP being in Essex. Because that would suck.
I was just reading, again, further down the article, it's the peak audience of 1.09 million people.
I'm not sure if that's a lot.
For live TV, that is pretty... I mean, because TV's dying out anyway. I mean,
A bit, yeah.
When was the last time you watched TV, just out of interest? Like live TV?
I would say the correct answer would be not at all, in case any TV licensing people are around, because we haven't got a license, so we pulled out.
They didn't know that, and now they do.
Well, no, we pulled out the plug, and we don't actually watch any TV.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
I'll watch like football on my laptop and put it on the TV, so that's live-ish, but it doesn't really count. So it's been a while since I've watched TV. That's why a lot of things that come up on the Facebook, like trending thing about a show, this is happening and this is happening, you're like, oh, I'm a bit out of it. Like, apparently in EastEnders today, Lucy Beale's murder is found out, and that's all of the rage at the moment.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, big deal.
That's another thing. Just a quick Room 101 here. People who live tweet shows.
Well, as in, like, comment on them.
As in, yeah, like, they say, oh, like, I'm going to watch the new episode of The Walking Dead or something like that, and then proceed to live tweet it as it happens. Like, their reactions to stuff. Nobody cares.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people on Facebook and Twitter that I really don't care for their opinions. And
that's social media for you.
Yeah, true. And it's the Oscars on Sunday, you know that?
Is it?
Yep.
I don't pay attention to the Oscars, to be honest.
I watched it last year. I stayed up quite late with Mark, and we wanted Wolf of Wall Street to win.
Rest in peace, Mark.
Yeah,
he's not dead.
No, he's not literally.
He's just not with us.
No,
he's in the studio, not on the planet.
He's just an elusive character.
We miss you, Mark.
Probably Boyhood is going to win the Oscar for that.
I still haven't seen that. That's the film that was filmed over, what was it, 13 years?
Yeah, following a boy in like every 2 weeks.
It was in Austin, Texas. It was filmed.
Yeah. Apparently that's going to win Eddie Redmayne, probably best male actor. So, I don't know. Last year I actually watched quite a few of the films that were being nominated for the Oscars.
Yeah.
Whereas this year I don't think I've watched a single one.
No,
I haven't been to cinema for a long time.
What has been nominated for the Oscars? I don't
I have
know.
to go up on that to find it.
Because the only film that I think that I watched that would be... No, I really haven't seen any films that are like Oscar-worthy this year, to be honest. Because I haven't seen The Theory of Everything, which would be one. I imagine that's up there.
The nominations for Best Picture are as follows: American Sniper, haven't seen.
Haven't seen it.
Birdman or The Unexpected, or parenthesis, The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance.
Haven't seen that either.
Boyhood.
Haven't seen that either.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Haven't seen that either.
Imitation Game.
Have seen that.
You have seen that.
It's a really good film.
It looks it. It does look it.
Yeah, it's a really, really interesting, actually. And Benedict Cumberbatch is amazing in it as well.
Selma.
Nope.
Theory of Everything.
Nope.
Whiplash.
Nope.
No.
So, So, by default, The Imitation Game gets my vote. I'm sure that'll be important and weighing on the decision-making process.
And the best actor thing, this is the last thing we'll do before I have to play the last one and bugger off. Best actor in leading roles, Steve Carell. Who? Brick from Anchorman.
Oh, shit, yeah. I don't remember watching Anchorman. I've seen it, but I don't remember.
I know you. Yes, Steve Carell, yeah. Bradley Cooper, Benedict Cumberbatch, so he's getting your vote.
Yep.
Michael Keaton,
okay.
And Eddie Redmayne, but Eddie Redmayne's probably going to win that one.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been a good hour and 15 minutes of radio for us, and video. And we're going to have to leave you for a week. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show.
Love you and leave you.
Yep. And as per usual, we are going to finish with what, John?
Well, it's tradition to finish with Arctic Monkeys.
The best Arctic Monkeys
song. The best
song.
Arctic Monkeys song, if I can find it. Where is it on the playlist? There it is. It's all good. So
just
organised.
one thing. Millie Dewar is apparently listening to the radio show.
Oh, thank you for listening, Millie. I appreciate that.
She's just messaged me saying listening to the radio show, so I'm guessing she's just tuned in to hear us say goodbye.
Yeah.
So
thanks for listening.
for the whole 30 seconds or whatever.
So Millie and all the other people that have been listening to Laura McCann being the only one I actually definitely know, and my parents.
Of course, we have more listeners than that. It's not just 2 people.
Yeah. This is Arctic Monkeys 505.
Thank you very much for listening. We will see you next week.
Keep update with the videos that will come out soon.
That will hopefully be out this week. And
Bye.
505 by Arctic Monkeys.